Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori and this is Holy City Mystic. Thank you so much for being here. So today we're going to talk about orbs, and what I mean by an orb is how close something is in your chart to something else in your chart and how close it has to be for it to count. Now I'm going to put up a little bit of a graphic here where I show the different orbs, and it's really going to display what I'm talking about when it comes to this. Now if you have something at 15 degrees of Pisces and then something else at 15 degrees of Scorpio, that is going to be a zero orb trine because they're both at 15 degrees. Now then that gets into minutes, and we're just going to say that they both have the same minutes as well, because otherwise you get into an orb of minutes, which is complicated. I don't want to get into that right here. So if you have something at 15 degrees of Pisces and then you have something else at 16 degrees of Scorpio, that is going to be a 1 degree orb because it's 1 degree off. And the way I think of an orb is just an orbit. So if you have something right here and then you have something that's within its orb, within its orbit going around it, it's almost like the planet's personal space, where it's like if you have something within 5 degrees of it, is it within orb? It's within a 5 degree orb, but is that really its personal space? And then the closer you get, the more in the planet's personal space you get, and it just makes it a tighter orb. So there's a lot of orb rules depending on what astrological tradition you follow. First of all, the luminaries, so the sun and the moon, they're gonna have the widest orbs. So they're about a 10 degree orb. So if the moon is within 10 degrees of something else, that moon, it's gonna act like a conjunction, where it's like right on top of each other, because the moon has a very wide personal space. Same thing with the sun. And if you guys are interested in what the personal space of the sun looks like, I am doing this series on Cazimi's combusts and Under the Beams that you can follow the link below if you want to go see that series. So the object is going to change the orb. Now the way I think of this is bigger the planet and also the closer the planet is the wider the orb. So if you think of, hang on, let me demonstrate. All right, say this is Saturn or Jupiter, one of those really, really big gas giants. If you put this on your skin, say this is the exact degree you want to look at. If you're putting this on there and you press it really hard, you are going to feel it. There's going to be a lot of pressure there, feeling it. And you're going to feel it all over, like the pressure is spread out. So if you have Saturn moving into a sign, not even within 2 or 3 degrees, but of a sign, you're probably going to start feeling it right away. It's going to be a very low drumming energy that you're going to feel coming. Now, Pluto is very small, Eris is very small, Mercury is small, Venus is small, Mars is small. So that's going to be more like this pen or even a needle. Now, if I put the same pressure that I put on this bigger thing on that point, it's going to be something very visible. It's gonna hurt. It might even go through the skin. Like it's gonna be a very big noticeable event, but I'm not gonna feel it over here at all. So that's why the orb needs to be really, really small when it comes to those really far away planets or those teeny tiny planets. So with Pluto, you're looking at like a 1 degree orb. Like it really has to be right on top of something for you to really start noticing differences in your life. Saturn or even Jupiter, it's going to be like a 5-6 degree orb there because it's bigger. Like you're going to feel it coming. It's going to be a much more pressured energy that comes along. Now think of it like a fireplace. So the actual degree that you're looking at is the fire in the fireplace. If your hand is directly inside the fire, that's all you're going to be able to think about. That is the most intense it's ever going to be. If you are a foot away or like 1 degree away, you might feel that burning sensation. You might feel like you want to go. It's kind of like that feeling like your face is blistering, but it's not. It's just very hot where it is. 2 feet away, you're probably enjoying the heat, but it's not too hot, like it's fine. You get 5 feet away, you might be a little cold. You might want to move a little bit closer to the fire. So that's kind of how orbs work. It's that personal space. It's that how much are you going to feel it. Now the energies in the sky do change when something changes signs. Now, if you have something in Aquarius that's like 15 or 20 degrees of Aquarius, you have something there, and Pluto just moved into Aquarius. It's nowhere close to that degree. It is not within orb right now. But the energies in the sky have shifted to Pluto and Aquarius. So you might start seeing some kind of lead up or like a trailer for what that's going to be. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. Another thing I want to point out is if something is farther away. So if you're splitting the circle into more than just one or two, so if something is conjuncting something, you're not splitting the circle at all. It's still a full circle. If something is opposing something, you're splitting the circle into two because it's two halves. So the more times you split something, so a trine is splitting the circle into three, a square is splitting the circle into four, a sextile is splitting it into six. The more times you split something, the tighter the orb you need to have. So a direct opposition, it could be like 5 degrees off and you could still feel it. So that's a 5-degree orb. If it's a trine, you're going to want it to be like a 2-degree orb because you're not going to feel it very well because you're splitting the circle into too many pieces. And it really has to be more exact for you to feel it significantly. Now for a square or a sextile, the tighter you get, the more you're going to feel it. And so you might have something squared that's like 5 degrees off and it's not very significant for you, but you have something else that's sextiled, which is supposed to be more of a minor degree, but it's within a 0-degree orb, right there within 0 degrees. So we'll stick with Aquarius. Say something is 15 degrees of Aquarius and then 15 degrees of Aries. That is going to be a very, very tight 0-degree orb sextile, and you're probably going to feel that a lot stronger. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope I explained this okay. It's very controversial. There's a lot of disagreements on how to do orbs. Certain traditions have like absolutely set ways of doing orbs where it's like Venus is always 6-degree orbs, no matter if it's a trine or a square or an opposition or a conjunction. And then other ones, it's just kind of like, oh, feel it with your heart, which, you know, again, is fine, but I'm really looking at the size of the object, how far away it is, to see if you're really going to feel it or not. Like if you have a fixed star 5 degrees away, or I mean, hell, even 3 degrees away from something, I'm really not going to count that as a conjunction. However, if you have something within 1 degree, like on the same degree of a fixed star, that is going to be something I'm really going to pay attention to, and it's probably going to affect you a lot more than anything else with a wider orb. So I hope this helps you guys. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you next time.